Okay, next we are going to create a business card in Photoshop. And so what we need to do is to go up to File and New. And this brings up our dialog box for creating a new document. And actually we want to, as you can see here, it shows the width and the height that's in pixels right now. We want to change that to inches. Obviously much more easier to work with. Your resolution, you want to keep that at 300. If you're sending this out for printing, printers will require at least 300 pixels per inch in a document that they would receive from you. So leave that as such, and leave it in CMYK color mode. You have different modes here. Keep it in CMYK. And so we're going to create the size of the business card, which is 3.5 inches by 2 inches. I'm going to say OK. And there is our, essentially it's a blank canvas. Now a printer is always going to require an extra 1/8 inch on all 4 sides of your document size. And right now we have it 3.5 by 2, and we need to increase that. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going up to Image and to Canvas in this case, and I want to increase the canvas size. And so if I have an 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides, I'm going to add first the width. I need to create that 3.75, and then the height will be 2.25. So actually adding a 1/4 of an inch overall. Going both directions, and I'm going to say OK, and that is going to increase the size of our document. Now what is helpful to do in this case is to indicate where actually the card would trim in this case. And so what we want to do, we want to create, if you click on the ruler bar on both sides and hold down with your mouse and bring down, you're going to bring down a guideline. And you can make that guideline wherever, but we want to make that as 1/8 inch. And so here we got an inch, we've got a half, we've got a 1/4. So the 1/8 of an inch is right there. And we're going to let go. That's going to leave a pink line for a guideline. We're going to do the same thing over here, right there. We're going to come over here and do the same thing at an 1/8, where the 1/8 inch would be there, and also on the bottom. There we go. And so essentially those lines will let you know where the card is, where the card will trim within the pink lines, and everything outside of those lines is going to be what we call the bleed, and that's essentially what the printer would then trim off of the card. So now we need to start building our card, and so I've got an image on my desktop. I'm going to open that up, and let's see here, it's right there. I'm going to open that up. And I've already kind of pre-sized this a little bit for what we're going to use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do Command A. Command A is for all. I'm going to select, and you can see a marquee crop around the entire image. And so I'm going to say, I've got to do Command A. I'm going to do Command C for copy. And then I'm going to go over to my document here, and I'm going to do Command V. And that, again, Command V will copy that image into my new document. So I'm going to let go. I'm going to remove the one I just opened up. And so here's our business card. We're starting to build our business card. And so we have a background. So let's create a business card for a florist, for example. And so we have a background, and now maybe we want to enhance this background a little bit. Maybe you want to do some kind of effect. And remember, we have a lot of different effects at our disposal. And so what I'm going to do in this case, for right now, I'm going to change this to RGB mode, because I'm going to say don't flatten, because that will let us access more of the artistic effects. And so I'm going to go under watercolor. This is going to bring up all our filter effects. As you can see here, again, you have different artistic effects at your disposal. We have a whole bunch more down here you can access, but we're going to focus on this. When I click on poster images, for example, I like the way that looks. It has more of a very artistic look to it. And there's obviously different ones we could do on here, but you got to look at one that's really going to be appropriate for what you're doing. And I really do like the poster effect, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to say OK. And so that effect is now applied to that layer. As you can see, we have our layer over here. And so since this is going to be a background for a card, we want to make that lighter than what it is. Now, in your layer dialog box, you have the thing called opacity. Right now, it's set at 100%. And so if you click on the arrow right next to it, you have a slider bar. You can make that less. And so it lightens, actually, that image. I'm going to make it a little darker. I'm going to make it maybe about right there. And again, we can always go back and change that at any time, so we're not locked into that. And so I'm going to let go of that. And so that's going to be the background of our card. And I'm going to switch this back to CMYK mode. Remember, we want to keep it in that mode. Don't want to flatten. And you see I made that a little darker when I went from RGB to CMYK. So I'm going to make that just a little lighter. You can actually type in a percentage. I'm going to get about 20 on this. And so that should be about right. And so now I'm going to type in the text. And I'm going to say, well, this is going to be for, let's say, Mario's Florist. We're just making something up here as we go along. Mario's or Floral Shop. Make Mario's Floral Shop. And so that's going to be the main name of the business card here. And so I'm going to go to, I want a different font than what I have here. We used one in a previous segment. And let's see, Snell Roundhand, I'm going to use that. And I'm going to increase the size of my type. Not quite that big. We're going to go down to 18. We're going to try that. And I'm going to, actually we want to find the center point for that type. And so what I will do, we know it's 3.5, so 3.5 would be about right there at the center point of the card. And so actually, this card right now, I'm going to say center on that. That's going to give me a center point on that line. And let's see, I'm going to go like that. There's the center point. And I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger. I'm going to go up to, I'm going to go to 20. And perhaps I want to change the color of that as well. And we're going to find a color that we want to use for that. It's going to stand out. I'm going to leave it like that for now. Now, so there's the type. And perhaps I want to make that a little bolder. We can see if this has a bolder version of that font. It does. So that's going to look better. And so while we're at it, we're going to add an effect to that. We're just add a drop shadow. And that brings up your layer style box. And again, you can also always adjust the opacity of any effect that you give to your image. So I'm going to move that to about 30%, just make it maybe 40% on that. I'm going to say OK. There's Mario's Floral Shop. And while we're at it, I'll bring that image back up, or the layer style box back up. And we've got a slight emboss on that. I'm going to make a little less right there. And again, you're not locked into anything when you're working on this. Keep that in mind. And so we've got that. And then we're just going to simply add the address. And I'm going to click down here. And actually, that's going to keep my the type font that I had previously selected. So I'm going to pick Myriad Pro for this. And I'm going to probably make something smaller on that. I'm going to say it's going to be 123 Main Street. And let's say it's in Boulder, Colorado. I don't know their zip codes. I'm going to make it up, 65802. And there's our type. We don't probably want that in red necessarily. I'm going to change that. And again, that's going to bring up the select text color box. And from there, I can change the color. And over here in this upper lower right-hand corner, I have the actual CMYK, what we call breakdown colors. I'm just going to make this black. So I'm going to get rid of everything but the black. I'm going to make the black 100%. I'm going to say OK. And I'm also going to bring up the, what we call a type dialog box. I did Command T for type. And I'm going to make that type a little smaller. I can again regulate the characteristics of my type within this character dialog box. See, we have the types, we have the point size, we have the also we call the leading or the line spacing. I'm going to increase that to about 12. And let's see here. And you know what? We also need a phone number. How do I add a phone number? Tell you what, I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to add that in there, and we're going to add the phone number. I'm going to add this on the line. Let's see. I'm going to say 1-800 1 2 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, and we'll do a hard return on that. And you know, they may want that a little bigger on that, so I'm going to say I'm going to make it 14 point right now. And so that is the obviously the phone number on that. So I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to see, I think, let's see, that is centered. It is centered. Okay. And I'm just going to center the type right down here. Let me do that again. We can see where the center, I did, here we go, right there. And then I need to put Mario's name there. And then it's going to ask me, okay, do I want to apply that? I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say, I'm going to add Mario's name right here. Mario, what should Mario's last name be? It will be Mario Summer. We'll do Mario Summer. And let's see here. And we need to make him probably a little bolder in this case. We're going to go, we've got, again, when you click on your type, you get your characteristics up here. You also get them over here. And so we have, I think, let's see, we don't have a bold part of that. So I can create a bold just by clicking on this image right here, this icon in the character dialog box that will create that in bold. And there we have it. All right, I'm going to let go. I'm going to say apply. And let's see, again, we can always move things around if we need to. I'm going to make Mario's floral shop just a little bit bigger. I'm going to say 22 on that. And move that up. And again, you can move things around. Just make sure you select the layer that you want to move around. And move that up a little bit. And it's not the height of design that we're working on here, but at least you get the idea. And I'm going to make that layer, that background layer, it's a little lighter. I'm going to go to 15. And there we go. And so, okay, so now we want to save this image. And, you know, one of the things you want to keep in mind is there are different file formats that you can save this in. I'm going to hit Command S, which is S is for save. And that's going to bring up a dialog box. And I want to call it, I'm going to give this file a name. I'm going to call it Mario Floral, I'm going to say BC for short, for business card. Now I can save this as what they call a Photoshop file. I can save it as an EPS, a JPEG, a TIFF. I can save it as a PDF as well. In this case, I'm going to save it as a TIFF file. And that's going to change the extension of that up here. And I'm just going to save that to my desktop. I'm going to say save. And you can leave that all as it is right here and say OK. And it says right here when I went to save, it said it will include layers which will increase the file size. Well, we want to keep all our layers because we may need to go back later and actually make some changes to this. So if we're laying this out and we email it to a client, and if he wants to make a change on it, we can then very easily make a change. So I'm going to say OK. And so we have saved that as a file. And so then we can email this to a client as a PDF if we desire, and see what changes, if any, the client has or wants to make to the card. So anyway, this is a very simple example, creating a business card. And again, the sky's the limit when it comes to Photoshop. So this is setting up a business card in Photoshop.